Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Say to the sons of Israel, appoint the cities of refuge, of which I spoke to you through Moses, that the manslayer who kills any person without intent or unwittingly may flee there. They shall be for you a refuge from the avenger of blood. He shall flee to one of these cities, and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city, and explain his case to the elders of that city. Then they shall take him into the city, and give him a place, and he shall remain with them. And if the avenger of blood pursues him, they shall not give up the slayer into his hand, because he killed his neighbor unwittingly, having had no enmity against him in times past. And he shall remain in that city until he has stood before the congregation for judgment, until the death of him who is high priest at that time. Then the slayer may go again to his own town and his own home, to the town from which he fled." So they set apart Kadesh in Galilee, in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem, in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kirath Araba, that is, Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, and beyond the Jordan east of Jericho. They appointed Bezer, in the wilderness on the tableland, from the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead, from the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan, from the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities designated for all the sons of Israel, and for the stranger sojourning among them, that anyone who killed a person without intent could flee there, so that he might not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, till he stood before the congregation. Then the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites came to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the sons of Israel. And they said to them at Shiloh, in the land of Canaan, "The Lord commanded through Moses that we be given cities to dwell in, along with their pasture lands for our cattle. So by command of the Lord, the sons of Israel gave to the Levites the following cities and pasture lands out of their inheritance. The lot came out for the families of the Kohathites. So those Levites, who were descendants of Aaron the priest, received by lot from the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin 13 cities. And the rest of the Kohathites received by lot from the families of the tribe of Ephraim, from the tribe of Dan, and the half-tribe of Manasseh 10 cities. The Gershonites received by lot from the families of the tribe of Issachar, from the tribe of Asher, from the tribe of Naphtali, and from the half-tribe of Manasseh, in Bashan 13 cities. The Merarites, according to their families, received from the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the tribe of Zebulun 12 cities. These cities and their pasture lands the sons of Israel gave by lot to the Levites, as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Out of the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Simeon they gave the following cities mentioned by name, which went to the descendants of Aaron, one of the families of the Kohathites, who belonged to the Levites. Since the lot fell to them first, they gave them Kirath Araba, Arba being the father of Anak, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, along with the pasture lands around about it. But the fields of the city and its villages had been given to Caleb the son of Jephunneh as his possession. And to the descendants of Aaron the priest they gave Hebron, the city of refuge for the slayer, with its pasture lands, Libnah with its pasture lands, Jatir with its pasture lands, Eshtemoh with its pasture lands, Holon with its pasture lands, Debir with its pasture lands, Ayin with its pasture lands, Juttah with its pasture lands, Bethshemesh with its pasture lands. 9 cities out of these 2 tribes. Then out of the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with its pasture lands, Geba with its pasture lands, Anathoth with its pasture lands, and Almon with its pasture lands. 4 cities, the cities of the descendants of Aaron, the priest, were in the 13 cities with their pasture lands. As to the rest of the Kohathites belonging to the Kohathite families of the Levites, the cities allotted to them were out of the tribe of Ephraim. To them were given Shechem, the city of refuge for the slayer, with its pasture lands in the hill country of Ephraim, Gezer with its pasture lands, Kibzaim with its pasture lands, Betharon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Dan, Eltiki was its pasture lands, Gibbethon with its pasture lands, Aijalon with its pasture lands, Gathrimmon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Tanakh with its pasture lands, and Gath-Rimmon with its pasture lands, 2 cities. The cities of the families of the rest of the Kohathites were 10 in all with their pasture lands. And to the Gershonites, one of the families of the Levites, were given out of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Golan in Bashan with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the slayer, and Beethzerah with its pasture lands, 2 cities. And out of the tribe of Issachar, Kishion with its pasture lands, Debaroth with its pasture lands, Jarmuth with its pasture lands, Ignanim with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Asher, Mishal with its pasture lands, Abdon with its pasture lands, Helkath with its pasture lands, and Rehob with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh in Galilee with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the slayer, Hamathdor with its pasture lands, and Kartan with its pasture lands, 3 cities. The cities of the several families of the Gershonites were in all 13 cities with their pasture lands. And to the rest of the Levites, the Merarite families, were given out of the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with its pasture lands, Karthoth with its pasture lands, Dimnah with its pasture lands, Nahalal with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Reuben, Bezer with its pasture lands, Jahaz with its pasture lands, Kedemoth with its pasture lands, and Mephath with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the slayer, Mahanaim with its pasture lands, Heshbon with its pasture lands, Jazer with its pasture lands, 4 cities in all. As for the cities of the several Merarite families, that is, the remainder of the families of the Levites, those allotted to them were in all 12 cities. The cities of the Levites in the midst of the possession of the sons of Israel were in all 48 cities with their pasture lands. These cities had each its pasture lands round about it, so it was with all these cities. Thus the Lord gave to Israel all the land which he swore to give to their fathers, and have taken possession of it. They settled there. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had sworn to their fathers. Not one of all their enemies had withstood them, for the Lord had given all their enemies into their hands. Not one of all the good promises which the Lord had made to the house of Israel had failed. All came to pass. Then Joshua summoned the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, You have kept all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, and have obeyed my voice in all that I have commanded you. You have not forsaken your brethren these many days, down to this day, but have been careful to keep the charge of the Lord your God. And now the Lord your God has given rest to your brethren, as he promised them. Therefore turn and go to your home in the land where your possession lies, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you, on the other side of the Jordan. Take good care to observe the commandment and the law which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, to love the Lord your God, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cling to him, and to serve him, with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them, and sent them away, and they went to their homes. Now to the one half of the tribe of Manasseh, Moses had given a possession in Bashan, but to the other half Joshua had given a possession beside their brethren, in the land west of the Jordan. And when Joshua sent them away to their homes, and blessed them, he said to them, Go back to your homes with much wealth, and with very many cattle, with silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and with much clothing. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brethren. So the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh returned home, parting from the sons of Israel at Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go to the land of Gilead, their own land, of which they had possessed themselves, by command of the Lord through Moses. And when they came to the region about the Jordan, that lies in the land of Canaan, the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by the Jordan, an altar of great size. And the sons of Israel heard say, Behold, the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built an altar at the frontier of the land of Canaan, in the region about the Jordan, on the side that belongs to the sons of Israel. And when the sons of Israel heard of it, the whole assembly of the sons of Israel gathered at Shiloh to make war against them. Then the sons of Israel sent to the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh in the land of Gilead, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 chiefs, one from each of the tribal families of Israel, every one of them the head of a family among the clans of Israel. And they came to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, in the land of Gilead, and they said to them, Thus says the whole congregation of the Lord, What is this treachery which you have committed against the God of Israel, in turning away this day from following the Lord, by building yourselves an altar this day, in rebellion against the Lord? Have we not had enough of the sin at Peor, from which even yet we have not cleansed ourselves, and for which there came a plague upon the congregation of the Lord, that you must turn away this day from following the Lord? And if you rebel against the Lord today, he will be angry with the whole congregation of Israel tomorrow. But now, if your land is unclean, pass over into the Lord's land where the Lord's tabernacle stands, and take for yourselves a possession among us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, or make us as rebels by building yourselves an altar, other than the altar of the Lord our God. Did not Achan, the son of Zerah, break faith in the matter of the devoted things, and wrath fell upon all the congregation of Israel, and he did not perish alone for his iniquity. A prayer of David. Incline your ear, O Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and needy. Preserve my life, for I am godly. Save your servant who trusts in you. You are my God. Have mercy on me, O Lord. For to you do I cry all the day. Gladden the soul of your servant, for to you, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. For you, O Lord, are good and forgiving, abounding in mercy to all who call on you. Give ear, O Lord, to my prayer. Listen to my cry of supplication. In the day of my trouble I call on you, for you do answer me. There is none like you among the gods, O Lord, nor are there any works like yours. All the nations you have made shall come and bow down before you, O Lord, and shall glorify your name. For you are great and do wondrous things. You alone are God. Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Unite my heart to fear your name. I give thanks to you, O Lord my God, with my whole heart, and I will glorify your name forever. For great is your merciful love toward me. You have delivered my soul from the depths of Sheol. O God, insolent men have risen up against me. A band of ruthless men seek my life, and they do not set you before them. But you, O Lord, are a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in mercy and faithfulness. Turn to me and take pity on me. Give your strength to your servant, and save the son of your handmaid. Show me a sign of your favor, that those who hate me may see me and be put to shame. Because you, Lord, have helped me and comforted me. Now when Jesus returned, the crowd welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. And there came a man named Jairus, who was the ruler of the synagogue, and falling at Jesus' feet, he begged him to come to his house, for he had an only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she was dying. As he went, the people pressed round him. And a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years, and had spent all her living upon physicians, and could not be healed by anyone, came up behind him, and touched the fringe of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood ceased. And Jesus said, Who was it that touched me? When all denied it, Peter said, Master, the multitudes surround you, and press upon you. But Jesus said, Someone touched me, for I perceive that power has gone forth from me. And when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling, and falling down before him, declared in the presence of all the people why she had touched him, and how she had been immediately healed. And he said to her, Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. While he was still speaking, a man from the ruler's house came and said, Your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher any more. But Jesus, on hearing this, answered him, Do not fear, only believe, and she shall be well. And when he came to the house, he permitted no one to enter with him, except Peter and John and James, and the father and mother of the child. And all were weeping and bewailing her. But he said, "Do not weep, for she is not dead but sleeping." And they laughed at him, knowing that she was dead. But taking her by the hand he called, saying, "Child, arise." And her spirit returned, and she got up at once. And he directed that something should be given to her to eat. And her parents were amazed, but he charged them to tell no one what had happened. I am poor and needy. This is always our stance before God. We have nothing to offer the Almighty. No matter our accomplishments, we are mere creatures, wholly dependent on Him for our next breath. Yet sometimes we forget just how helpless we are without Him. In the reading from Luke's Gospel for today, we find two intertwined stories in which individuals come face to face with their own dependence. On the one hand, a father comes to Jesus on behalf of his gravely ill daughter. On the other, a woman with a chronic hemorrhage, which makes her ritually impure and therefore excludes her from temple worship, reaches out to touch Jesus. Both of these people are humble enough to acknowledge their need and yet bold enough to ask Jesus for help. That combination, humility and courage, gives us insight into the seemingly imbalanced prayer of the psalmist. First, he describes his plight with what sounds like despair, but then he suddenly shifts into expressing his overwhelming confidence in the Lord. There is none like you among the gods, O Lord. Are you humble enough to admit your helplessness and yet bold enough to ask Jesus for help?